Welcome to Larry's Library. Got a bunch of stuff scattered on the unboxing table here, but we are not doing an unboxing. This is my long-awaited, by a few of you anyway, collection tour for my gallery editions. Now, I have 13 of these. I think Marvel's put out, I'm guessing somewhere around 20, so I don't have all of them, but I've got a big chunk of them. Got them stacked up right here. I've reviewed some of these, but not all of them, and I'm not likely to review all of them, so I thought a collection tour might be a good time to do this, and then maybe I'll update it years from now when I've got even more. But I've got 13 here, and I'm going to scroll some high-res scans of the covers as we're talking here until I want you to look at something specific. So, I love this format. It's my favorite format ever. These books are huge. Like the one I'm measuring here is nearly 9.5 inches wide, a little over 13 inches tall. And to show you what you're getting, let's contrast here. Take a look at this. If you compare a gallery to a standard omnibus, look how much more width you're getting. Look at the height difference. You're getting a lot for your money, you really are. And these are not expensive books compared to the Omnis. Now, they don't hold nearly as many issues. Speaking of issues, here's a standard comic. Look at that. So you are, I just love it. Anytime I can get something close to the size that these books were, that this art was drawn at, and I think a lot of it was done on, at least the pre-digital age comics like these. I think a lot of them were done in 11 by 17 Bristol board. So this isn't quite full size, but it's damn close, and I just love it. So these are all hardcovers, and they're all pretty robust. I've only had problems with one of them. I might show you that one when I get to it, but most of them have just been flawless for me, and I love it. Now, oh, here's another comparison. Let me show you. Here's a typical DC Absolute Edition with the slipcase. And you can see that the Marvel Gallery is slightly bigger than an Absolute, both in height and in width. Isn't that nice? Now, typically, the Marvel Gallery, part of the reason it's less expensive than these other formats is because they don't tend to hold that many issues. Now, this is an outlier because it has, let me see if I don't remember exactly, but I think it has like, if I can find a page number. Okay. This has, I think the page number stops once it gets into the extra material. But the last page number is 288, so this is nearly 300 pages thick, which is very unusual for a gallery edition. Most of them are much less than that. I think somewhere between like 100 and 200 pages is usually all you're going to get in a gallery. Like I said, this is an outlier. Now, another reason this is an outlier is unlike the other 12 galleries I have, is this one is slightly, it's a slightly different trim size. Very strange. And while we were preparing to get everything ready here, my beautiful producer wife here, she was like, I was showing her the difference in these. And I said, I'm going to point that out in the video. And she's like, don't you think that's kind of nitpicky? And I'm like, do you know me? Do you know my channel? I mean, almost everything we're doing here is picking nits. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to pick some nits here. So, like, if you compare this one to any other one, this is like, there. And here we have a full 9.5 inches. So almost all these are 9.5 inches wide. And this one is less than 9.5 inches wide. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the reason it's so thick. But here, I mean, like, take a look at this. I don't know if you can see. Can you see it there? Most galleries are wider than just a hair. I mean, you know, it's a little bit. Picking dents here, but yeah. So, another thing that comes up a lot when you discuss gallery editions is a lot of people are disappointed when they open up their gallery edition and there's a big border over here on the right side. Usually a bar of color. Now, this one doesn't have that. Again, this is an outlier, so let's take that one away. But if we look at this recent, I think this is the most recent Marvel Gallery. This is Daredevil Born Again. And it has the typical borders on the side. Okay, so you've got these big red bars. And we discussed, well, why do we have these big red bars? You know, couldn't they have just made the book smaller in one dimension or the other and just not had the bars? Well, you could, but I think what they're doing here is Marvel wants these to be all the same trim size. But we're covering books that were printed, you know, in the early 70s, mid 70s, through the 80s, through the 90s, and to today, and those trim sizes are different. And you also have full bleed artwork sometimes that goes top to bottom without a border all around it. And it varies from book to book. So I think by making it this size and using borders where necessary, they can keep all these books basically the same trim size. Well, with the exception of this one. And so I think that's what we got here. I think that's, and to further get to the bottom of this little gallery edition mystery, I have some books here that I have in multiple formats, and we're going to compare the artwork and see exactly what you're getting, because some people have made the statement before, and I'll put up a recent snippet of a comment where I was discussing this with one of my YouTube viewers, and I'll put that up here so you could read that, and where we were talking about this exact thing, and he was like, or he or she was like, you know, I'm always disappointed with the big bar, and is it necessary? And with the bar in place, do you still get an appreciable upsize in artwork over an Omni? We're going to find out right now. So, and I've already prepared these ahead of time. So I have a page marked here, and I'm gonna cut the video right here, and I'm gonna clear some of this away. Now, okay, we're back. During that cut, I did a little readjusting of the table contents here, and so you can see I've got a gallery edition that reprints Strange Tales 179. I have an omnibus that reprints the exact same issue, and I have the original issue. So this is the last page of that story, and we are going to compare them. So hopefully no one minds a spoiler from a book that came out in 1975. So sorry about that if I spoiled this one for you. So here we go. So now measuring top to bottom. This is let's see, a little more than 11.5 inches tall, measuring from the top of the panel to the bottom of the panel. You want to get a little in close on that? Do I have the thing lined up? Pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Now measuring the same page in the omnibus, it's nearly 9.5 inches. Not quite 9.5, as you can see. So let's take a look at the original comic book. Okay, here's the original comic book. Let's see if I can measure this without tearing anything up. What would you say that is? 8?
Almost 8 3/4.
Nearly 8 3/4. So you are getting a clear upgrade in both height and width every time you go up inside. I mean, every time you go up in the editions. The as you can see here, it's great. The Omnis are great, but the galleries are even better. So now you might say this was not really the comparison we needed, because this one does not have the dreaded color bars. So we're going to do one with color bars too. And I'll cut some of this out rather. Okay, we're back. Now I've got Daredevil up here. Now I do not have the single issue of the original single issue of this one, so I can't show you a comic book version, but I think you can get the idea well enough by comparing the omnibus to the gallery edition. So this is Frank Miller's Daredevil Omnibus Companion, and this is Daredevil Born Again Gallery. And we're going to look at this page from both. Got the same page up here. So this, again, nearly 11.5 inches tall. And over here, about 9.5 inches tall. Same exact page, same artwork. So you're bumping up 2 whole inches I mean, it's pretty significant. Someone's going to clip that and make something dirty out of that, I just know. But that's not what I meant. Okay. Now, if we measure, we got a little bit of, actually there's no gutter loss. If you pull this back, there's no gutter loss even. But let's try to measure the width. So on this one, I'm a little over 7.5 on the width. And on the Omni, I'm not even 6.5. So you're gaining a full inch of width and 2 inches of height, going from the Omnibus to the Gallery Edition, even with this big bar of color that some people find obtrusive. I mean, I get it. You know, you naturally want to have the art fill the whole page, but that is not the shape that this artwork was drawn in, and it wasn't published in that aspect ratio. So this is what we got, and I think it's still a really great upgrade. So I still love the Gallery Editions, and I hope this little comparison and letting you see and compare apples to apples makes you enjoy them a little bit more when you do buy them, because I don't feel ripped off at all doing it that way. So yeah, I love my Gallery Editions, and I hope you do too. Or if you're curious about them, I hope that answers questions for you, and I hope you like seeing all these beautiful covers stream by. So anyway, hope you love these books as much as I do, and I hope you like watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you loved it, and I'll see you next time.